Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first TTR Friday of the new season. We are back with all the favourites, Billy's Beef, Sam's Whine, Shane By Stato, and of course, getting you guys on the show as well in the second part of the show, where you guys can join us live and tell us how you're feeling ahead of the big kickoff, which is, of course, tonight, but for us, it's tomorrow. So, yeah, it's going to be a cracker, no doubt, tonight. A lot to moan about as well. Anyway, if you do enjoy tonight's show, as usual, give it the thumbs up, guys. You are starting your weekend the right way with a good laugh and great banter. And, of course, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, please do subscribe. Fantastic community here on the Toon Review. But don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. And, of course, you can support the channel in two ways. One is by joining the membership, which is just the join button just underneath us. And, of course, super chats are available by hitting the $ at the bottom of the live chat. And that will guarantee your comment to be read out on the show. We have a couple. Col Elliott, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for signing up. Signed up at 5 to 4 this afternoon. So there you go. Thank you very much, Col. And Andy K, thank you for your super chat. Evening all. Parish is an absolute bell end. Taking the piss now. Walk away. Good evening, panel.
Good evening, and good evening to all over Viewerland.
Well, we will start with the Guehi situation. Sam, we'll begin with you on this. They've rejected what is believed to be around 65 to 70 million pounds. Chronicle are saying we bid 70. Many other people are saying 65. We've given Palace, or we've provided Palace with what they wanted, and they've now turned around and moved the goalposts, which, to be fair, Billy did suggest earlier on that Parish would probably do that, and he has.
Yeah, I feel like we sort of got on the hook for this one a little bit too much, and maybe ego got the better of us in this one. Not too pleased how we've handled it. Maybe we've gone in far too low, below expectations, hoping that they were going to cave for it. No, we weren't going to cave for it, given, you know, Euro tax, given his performance, which was justified. But then to go in with a fourth bid and have that rejected as well, you know, it is a bigger fool us here. But walk away, run. Let's run. Let's get someone else in now. I'm not having us over a barrel for that.
Yeah, agreed. Dowsy, thank you for becoming a new member of the channel. Welcome to Members Club. Much appreciated for your support. Billy, you were right. You did say this morning that they would probably move the goalposts, and there you go.
Yeah, it's time to definitely walk away. Now we've offered them what they've asked for, and now they've moved the goalposts. That is taking the euro in. Time to move on and get somebody else.
Yeah. Zishan, thank you for your super chat. I like Guehi, but enough is enough. Forget the price 1 second, including wages over a 5-year contract. That's over 100 million we're going to pay, which is under PSR, is criminal. Nick Thornton, thank you for your super chat. For fuck's sake, walk away from the transfer. Parish is a grifter, and we are looking like mugs right now. He is taking the piss, isn't he, Alex? I mean, look, we said that they were perfectly entitled to ask what they were asking for if they felt that player was, you know, enough. We've gone in, we've given them what they've wanted, and now he's changed it again. I mean, he is a grifter.
No, I don't really want to say anything about Steve Parish. I don't think that's appropriate. I think
he's the one that's moving the goalposts.
Yeah, he's entitled to do that. He's entitled to do what he likes with it. We just need to walk away. We should have walked away after the second bid. I said this the other day. We should just walk away because it's dangerous. That's not good bartering. If somebody sets you a price and the barter ends up with you going up to meet their original price, and then even beyond that, that's a bad barter. If you go to a market and do that, you're an idiot. So we should have walked away. We need to walk away now because this is going to set a precedent for future transfers, and it's not good. They are, for anybody talking about Steve Parish and Guehi, they can do what they want. That's not our. We can't control that. However, this is obviously gonna stop Guehi's progression to a point, because I'm assuming, will want to go and play Champions League football and European football and progress and play at the highest level. You would imagine he's got aspirations to do that, having played for England and getting all the way to a final in a European competition. I'd imagine he would want that progression. It looks like they've thrown the armband at him, which has probably helped with him staying. It is what it is. They've overpriced a talent. He's a very good player. He's fantastic, but he's probably not worth over 40 or 45 or 50.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Massively overpriced. And they either want silly money or to keep him. And they're well within their rights to do that. To be fair, we're doing that with some of our players. We're saying, break your transfer record and throw 150 at Bruno or Isak all they're staying. So we've said the same thing. So I don't want us to be hypocrites. But I'm quite happy for us to walk away. I said to you guys before we started rolling, Maxence Lacroix that they're interested in. Just go bid for him. Logan Costa, there's loads of others out there. You've got Diomande still available. There's loads of decent centre-halves on the market. The issue being, we've kind of shown our hand now to a point, which, but we just need to run away. Like Sam said, don't walk away, run away. We need to get as far away from this transfer as possible, disassociate ourselves with all of that now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Another super chat in from Spike Milligan. Thank you, Spike. Parish son of Twatcliffe. Jesus. Look, I don't understand, Billy, why Paul Mitchell is getting a load of grief on social media. Newcastle fans having to dig at him saying, "Oh, he can't do his job." I mean, what do they expect the guy to do? He's going in with offers. He's obviously in touch with PIF. He knows how much we can go to, and he's trying to get a good deal for Newcastle United. Yet all of a sudden, he's getting shit on again from. I don't even want to call them Newcastle. Some of them are just outrageous, man.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Blaming the director, the sporting director, for us not being able to get a transfer over the line that we've offered them what they want. It's not his fault, is it? It's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
I mean, how far does Mitchell go, Sam? He's obviously getting feedback from PIF as well. They're working all together with this deal. And I agree with Alex now. We run away and just leave them to it. And wherever Guehi ends up, he ends up. It's not our problem anymore. There is other defenders out there.
Absolutely. And Mr. Mitchell's CV speaks for him. So when people are coming at him and saying, "Oh, he can't do his job properly," and all of this, I think it's probably, for me, quite disappointing and naive of our fan base, and probably a little bit entitled to an extent as well, to say that we can just go after players and lowball them and expect it. We have PSR rules to adhere to, as well as a budget for this season as well. For me, the right wing is the opportunity that we should strengthen. And as Alex has been saying, and the rest of the team as well for weeks now, there's opportunities for that centre-back at far better prices and, potentially equally as good quality. And where can they go under Eddie Howe's development? That's what's interesting for me. So I think we need to lay off Mr. Mitchell. We've tried to go in at an offer that suits us in our budgets and PSR restrictions. Let them do the jobs.
Billy F's asking, would you trigger Eze's release clause? I mean,
if it was right winger, I think we would have, but he's not.
He's on the left, no, we don't. I mean, look, Parish can do what he wants. Guehi, I don't know whether he'd be disappointed with the whole thing. I mean, the Chronicle are saying that we did offer 70. Now, whether that's a 70 upfront payment, or which I doubt very, very much, or it's a staggered payments, which may have broken down the deal, which Palace weren't happy with. If they're not getting the money up front, I
don't think they want to sell him at all. They don't want to sell him at all.
You do get that impression.
You can see what's going on here. 2 years left on his deal. They've gone to him. Look, stay with us for another 2 years, at least, or the 2 years. We'll give you the armband. Help us for 2 more years, and then you can go and start your next adventure. You'll be 26 years old, although we do know that Steve can't remember how old he is, but that's another conversation. So when he's 26 years old, then his contract expires. Then he can go and maybe take a step up if he's continued to progress into a club playing in the Champions League, Europa League, or challenging for trophies in some capacity. So that's
they're
probably
not going to get the money they wanted for him, though. I just find it.
well.
very
I think
bizarre.
they're taking that on the cheek. They know that they're not going to get that.
I mean,
'cause
Trevor
next
made
season,
Trevor made a good point earlier on in the comments. He said that he thinks that maybe Parish and Crystal Palace were expecting a bidding war to come in. Once Newcastle had stepped in, they were expecting a few other clubs to come in as well, and a bidding war start. That didn't come to fruition, and obviously now Palace have shown the hand, and that could be right, Alex. That they just don't want to sell him. Charlie, good evening. Hey guys, just an update. Me and baby are okay. However, I am needing a blood transfusion. Caleb has slept all night and all day. He is a real dream. Sense of normality listening to you all. Great news. Sam, I don't know whether you know, but Charlie had the baby yesterday. Did you see the photo?
I saw the picture. I love the baby grow. Yes, start him early. Love that.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It's a shame this podcast is not suitable for children. I don't understand what that means, Des. This is an adult.
It's definitely
football
not,
show.
Paul. It's definitely not suitable.
It's all at the minute. It's just when you lot get started, isn't it? That it's not.
Oh, it's everybody else but you, Billy. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard your comment about the Champions League getting tattooed somewhere. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to be fair, most podcasts about football nowadays aren't like that. Like I listen to is it the Football Ramble? Is that what it's called? I listened to the Football Ramble today in a commute, and they were effing and jeffing in bits, and that's just a general podcast you pop on in the car and something. So it's
Look, at the end of the day,
that far. So
no, well, listen. At the end of the day, we are who we are. We've got to where we are because of who we are, and we're not going to change. Simple as that. There is kids listening to the podcast, and parents will be understanding that sometimes there is language, sometimes there is, things like that happen. But it's like you would do if your kid's watching a TV show or something and there's swearing in it. You just tell them that that's a naughty word. You don't say it in the future. Be a parent. But if you don't want to do that, don't let them watch it. John Adams, thank you for your super chat over there in New Zealand. I don't know why I did a deep voice like that, but never mind. Would Palace deal be because of upfront payment required? Prediction for the game, 3-0 up at half-time. Asula on for a debut goal, more likely at Eddie O'Clock. Yeah, he does like his Eddie O'Clocks. Ian Makepeace, been a member for 6 months. Thank you, Ian. Can't wait for the season to kick off tomorrow, and so looking forward to watching Matchday Lives on the Toon Review. Up the TTR. Mandy says, once we knew they wanted 65, we should have offered that from the start, but go for someone else now. I don't necessarily agree with that, because that's not really how football works. Yes, players have evaluation, but how many times do teams go in just with sort of putting the feelers out as to what they'd accept? Now, yes, I don't agree we should have gone in 4 times. I think that is absolutely ridiculous, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from a business perspective, we would expect to go in with a first offer that is in the region of what the valuation is from the ownership. He is sort of a commodity after all. And I know that's quite crude. We are talking about a human being here, but in business sense, it is a commodity. I think for me, disappointed, of course, with the amount of bids that has gone in for it. However, you need to give scope for wiggle room for negotiation. And after that last comment, forgive me, I can't remember who said it, but thinking that there was a bidding war coming in, because I think they would have been willing to release him if it was a juicy enough offer about 2 clubs going in for it. That hasn't happened. So yeah, run Scarborough.
Thing is, we're taking it. We're forgetting one option is that PAF maybe that they don't want to be seen to be embarrassed in negotiations, and they want the player, and it's become personal to them now, and they're going to pay whatever it takes. We don't know this, do we? But if PAF, Saudis, they're very much, if they want a toy, they get it. It may come down to that now.
But Billy, is this ego? Is this ego talking?
It's how the Saudis work, isn't it?
Yeah, but we can't have that when we have to play by rules.
We don't know, do we? But I'm saying that could be one of the reasons that we kind of ignore
Yeah.
them. If PAF want this player, they're going to have him no matter what.
I disagree with that. I think it's fair to say that's a possibility, but I think that's unlikely. I think they're far too clever, with far too many important people and clever people around them, to just go blindly down an ego bidding war. They're not Todd Bowley.
Plus, they realise that John Tector, who's one of their part owners, is trying to buy Everton and has exclusivity to the Everton books now. They could be in deep financial doo-doo if they don't accept a bid. Maybe they're just trying to blackmail them, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah. James. Abs makes a good point. So football grounds are not suitable for children. Give me a break. Yeah. It's crazy. Where the
referee's a love child. The referee's a love child.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. He's here all week.
Yeah.
Marcus's kids nowadays see and hear much worse than you lot. I'm bloody right. You turn on the news, it's 10 times worse than what we are. But we are passionate and we are honest and we wear our hearts on our sleeves and we will never change for no wokeness. Anyway, I saw a very, very funny report earlier on today, guys, which was coming from down in Scousland, which suggested that Liverpool are ready to bid a double header, guys. You know, prepare yourselves for this. To try and buy Anthony Gordon and Bruno for 180 million quid.
I mean, that's closer. That's closer to a decent valuation, but it's still an absolute no.
There's no way Liverpool have got that kind of money to spend. We know they haven't. Not 180 million quid. And I mean, Billy, if a bid came in of 180 million pound for a double swoop, what would you say to them?
Me personally, I'd say, well, I wouldn't be able to say what I'd say, but I mean, it's kind of in the realms of where you want to be, I guess.
The thing is they're two different players. Gordon, right? This is going to sound harsh. Gordon's replaceable. You can get other wingers who can score goals and who can press. I mean, they're very hard to find at that level, but you can find them. Bruno, there's not many players like that. Arsenal are scrambling to try and get a player like that. Liverpool have been shot down by Zubimendi. You've got Marino, Zubimendi. People are trying to get that profile. Most teams play with a double pivot. Even Rodri plays in a double pivot. You can't get that kind of player. They're just so hard to find. Who can do that role, you know, at the top level. It's like an Isaac Hayden role that can play that in a Champions League final consistently. And Bruno's good enough to do that. But so, yeah, if somebody bid stupid money for Gordon, we would consider it. I don't think we should consider anything for Bruno. Even if somebody put in 150, it's just not even worth the hassle trying to find somebody else, because we'd have to change. We wouldn't just have to find his replacement. We'd probably have to change the entire way we play. It would upset so much more than just one position. So
this is it for me, Alex. I completely agree. This isn't just about a monetary amount that we can reinvest. We want to build the squad around our star players, and letting one, never mind two of them go, that actually upsets the whole balance and the ecosystem of the team, of the tactics, of the way that we want to play it as well. So yes, we need to entertain correct valuations for them, but actually it's the work that goes into replacing those players and affecting the rest of the cohesion of the team for me. So
it does seem we have a very big scouting list of left wingers for some reason, even though we already have two. I don't know why we keep looking at them.
Yeah, it's like we've got ring binders of left wingers, but nothing for the other side, which is mental. But it's just listen, they're going nowhere.
It's like Nixon's got his glasses on upside down, and he's just been looking at the wrong side for the last 18 months by accident. Yeah,
we'll play the other way. Couple of questions in the chat about what we think of the ground improvements. I mean, look, I don't think we'll get a new ground. I think they'll develop St James's Park. I think they'll come to an agreement. However, if you Paul Gallant, for example, I mean, he obviously knows every single architectural structure in Newcastle, the way he's got plans to build the stadium. Listen, it has to be done sensibly, and I'm sure they will. If we had to move from St James's Park, I'd be devastated, to be honest, because that ground's got a lot of memories for a lot of people, and I don't genuinely think we will move from St James's. I think they will redevelop it. I think it'll be a fantastic redevelopment as well. They'll get some very, very good people in to do the job, and we'll just see what happens with it. But at the minute, that's for the future to talk about, without a doubt. But it is time for our first segment of the evening, and it's this. It is, of course, shamed by Stato. And who are we shaming this week, Alex?
So I've actually changed my mind. So it's a bit of a surprise for you lot because I've reminded myself of this today. I'm going to shame the Football Ramble podcast.
Richard Tossers.
Bring it.
So they are.
Oh, let's go
I
to war.
could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I apologise to.
There
all
is a
of
few
the
people in the
podcast.
chat, actually, when you mentioned them, Alex, saying that they were very uncomplimentary about Newcastle United at times. And
There are certain people that will have
not very
heard
happy.
the one I listened to today. It was their Premier League prediction show. So I don't know if they're a professional outfit, if this is all their full-time jobs and they have a full production team. If they do, shame. Do some research. It's your job. That was awful. If you're part-timers, if you do it as a hobby, fair enough. Everybody's got busy lives. So I don't know whether I'm angry at them or not. I can't work it out. But if this is their job and this is their opinion, not good enough. So they essentially, in the prediction of us, stated, oh, well, they had to sell some young players for PSR and they've got all that going on. So I don't know. I can't see them. Yeah. And that was it. It was basically that was all we got for the actual team prediction. I don't even know where they placed us, like 7th, 8th, maybe 8th or 9th, I think, something like that. And that's not even the bit I'm shaming. The bit I'm shaming has really irritated me. They did their predictions for top goal scorers of the season. It was Haaland. It was Cole Palmer. It was maybe Connolly Watkins reproduce his form, possibly, maybe not. Heung-min Son. And then they moved on. Not one mention of Alexander Isak. Not once. In the entire show, they did not mention Alexander Isak, who was, 21 goals last season in the Prem? 24 years old. Absolutely electric. So this is why I'm saying if they are a professional outfit, if that is their job, shocking. Go do some research before you do a show like that.
Are these a lot that go on Sky Sports?
I'm not sure, but
I've never watched it. I don't even know who does it.
I have a full-time job and I sit here and do so much research and try my best to put accurate facts on a show. And I will be honest and hold my hands up if I don't know what I'm talking about or if I haven't seen something yet. And they just chatted absolute nonsense for about an hour. And it just really put me off. So again, if they are not professional, if they're all part-timers and they're just a bunch of guys who got together, fine. I apologize. If you haven't had that much time to research, fine. But if you guys are professional, I'm not listening to another one. It's just boring. What's the point? It's not going to be fair. They've not researched everyone. They're just kind of giving pub opinions. Which, if you want pub opinions, you go to the pub. If you put a podcast on, it's because people have actually checked stuff. That's the whole point, right? That's what I try and do for you guys. I try and check my stuff before I open my mouth. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time for everyone. So anyway, I'll put the microphone down now because sorry, Football Ramble. Really irritated me today.
If they're not doing a good enough job, then
well, I hope they're not at the awards because they're not going to come. They're not going to come to say hello. So
just call them Titus Ramble when they come.
Titus Ramble, Jesus Christ! Listen, at the end of the day, you know what? I find a lot of people very disrespectful towards Newcastle United. There's one podcast that I watch who I think there's 3 of them on it. That I don't watch, but I've seen clips of them. One of them's got a chin longer than Jimmy Hill, and he looks like Frankenstein. And I can't remember. Is it they used to work with Brian, I think, but the parted ways quite a while ago. But I can't remember. What it's called. But they're a bunch of twats because they just insult Newcastle all the time. They laugh at us and things like that. It's just mental.
It's not even about us that shocked me. It was more about how can you have a top goal scorers prediction without Alexander Isak in it? It wasn't even a mention.
Well, look,
Ludicrous.
We have our banter about other clubs and stuff, and we dislike a couple of clubs. That's fair enough. However, some of the stuff that's said about Newcastle and the fans, to be fair, across a lot of yes, Julie, it is Rory's little gang. That's who it is.
Is it?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's Rory's little gang. But the guy is just the one who I really can't stand is the one who looks like Frankenstein, and he talks terribly of Newcastle all the time, to the point where I actually want to jump through the screen and knock him out. And you know, it's very rare, as you guys know, that I lose my temper, and I
Very rare. Never
very,
happens.
very rare. But this guy, watching him, makes me want to throttle him. Brian Lockyer, thank you for being a member for 4 months. That's why we love and appreciate you, Stato. Your work behind the scenes is proper. In fact, from all of you is awesome. Listen, we do our best to put a decent show out for you most times a week. Remember, some of these podcasts, by the way, they'll only do 1 or 2 podcasts per week. You know, we're on nearly every day. You know, if you count the recorded shows, the live shows during the day, the live shows on the nighttime, we put a lot together for everybody. And, you know, it's great to see so many in again tonight, over 1,600 across Twitter and YouTube tonight so far. That's incredible for a Friday night. So, you know, but we actually really appreciate our viewers. We really, really do. Yeah, we'll have the odd argument with 1 or 2 years from time to time, but that's what it's all about. It's passion, it's honesty, and that's what I think a lot of these podcasts down south who don't know Newcastle, they don't know the club, they don't know the fans, you know, they'll just make shit up to have a laugh at us, and that's why I really want us to do and go and win something this season, or very close to it, because we need to, and just to shut these pillocks up from down south. It's as simple as that.
Can I just mention something as well? I've just loaded up William Hill, which for people who are abroad and don't know, it is a gambling site, just to check the odds. And Alexander Isak is actually better odds to get the Golden Boot ahead of Ollie Watkins on that. So
second favourite, is he?
Well, it's Erling Haaland is 8-13, Isak is 11-1, or Watkins is 16-1. So Alexander Isak has got better odds than Ollie Watkins just on this site. Which just goes to show, surely it's personal bias. The fact that the gambling companies are stating Isak is up there and they're choosing to exclude his name, surely they just don't like us at this point. Like it's beyond. I mean, if they forgot, then fine, fair enough. But
indeed,
it's a massive drop. Like, make some notes before you go live, honestly.
Yes, gamble responsibly as well.
I'm happy for it.
I have to put that across because he's mentioned a gambling firm. So gamble responsibly, please. Bruv Butler says, this ain't just another YouTube channel, though. It's a family. Thank you. That's what we strive to be on here. Matt says, I must say, since I found your channel a couple of months ago, after losing my job, you lot have kept me sane. Thank you. Thank you. We try our best. What were you going to say there, Sam?
Do you know what? I'm happy that people are underrating us, that thinking that we are not gonna get anywhere in the table, that we're gonna have a subpar mid-table season. I'm all for it because this is gonna make it even sweeter. Like, you know, when you just feel that surge of something good is on the horizon for Newcastle. Haven't we paid our dues? Don't we deserve something now? Now we've got ownership. Now we've got management. Now we've got star players. Now we've got a club that's valued at over 1 billion. So yeah, sit on it. I want you to think that we're underdogs because we're absolutely going to hand you your effing arses this season.
Get on, Sam. Well, actually, why not? It's time. While she's on one, here we go.
Oh my God! What is that?
It's sweeter than molasses. Shit got gliss on my wrist like a maverick. Bitch, she a rich little bitch with some baggage.
It's time for It's time for Sam's Whine. Sam, take it away. Who are you whining about tonight?
I know, I sort of went off on a tangent there, didn't I?
Well, you did, yes.
Of course, it is the 4 bids in for Guehi. I think for me, what's really irritated me is the optics around this and what we see from our own fan base, which we touched on a little bit earlier, where our leadership team come into question. What does it make us look like? I'm personally disappointed that we've gone in with 4 bids. Has it been a little bit naive, or has Crystal Palace played a game here. I think they've absolutely played a game with us. I think they were expecting that bidding war. Now that I saw that comment, I was like, yes, this absolutely makes sense for us. Let's face it. Has there been any strong links with any other clubs for this player? Do we want to feel like we're in golden handcuffs to get in another centre-back? Certainly not for me. I don't think it's our priority position that we need to be going for. I think that we've got a fantastic squad behind us. If anybody caught Eddie's interview this afternoon, the pre-match press conference, we were saying now what a luxury it is for us to actually have a choice of players now. So why can't we just run with it? We don't need to be held over and, taken from behind just because you want to charge us super money in Newcastle United tax. Absolutely not. Let's invest our money wisely. Do the right thing. I'm not happy about the optics and how it's made us look, but you know what? Lessons learned. In Paul Mitchell, I trust. Check out the guy's record. He knows what he's doing. If he thought there was an opportunity to lowball it, I am sure it is for good reasons. So let's go for it and absolutely hand it tomorrow and absolutely kick the wick out of them. I can't wait for it.
Well, on the flip side of it, actually, Laura says, I'm sorry, but I see no fault with Crystal Palace. Would you see us doing business with a club, say, offering £50 million for Gordon? No, we would hold out for 80 plus. Yeah, but they gave us a price. That's the problem, Laura. I think that's what people are upset about. Apparently they gave us a price. We don't know that for certain.
If that's true, they said 65, and with Piers, we've matched 65, and they've moved that. That's the main crux of it.
Yeah,
it's getting us on the hook and making us wiggle for it. And I'm sorry, we're not go-go dancers. You can absolutely get lost. This isn't for your eyes only. They've given us a valuation for the player that we wanted. By all accounts, Guehi looked quite happy to come to Newcastle. We've seen it as well, the likes of Gordon's comments, like saying how great the club was. Even Guehi himself saying that, playing in Newcastle was one of the best atmospheres. Does that tell you it's a player who doesn't want to come to a club that's got a really inspiring project that they believe in? So if he's one of the best centre-backs in the UK, in the Premier League, and he wants to believe in Newcastle United, doors are open. Start off with your valuation. Fair dues to you, Crystal Palace. Do your own thing. But no, that's not going to be the way that we play ball anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of people are saying in the chat there that it's, the thing is that not many people actually think that Guehi is as good as 65, 70 million pound player. If you look at what's going on in the market with centre backs,
he's not absolutely that you're paying for the possible ceiling. That's what you're paying for.
Yes.
But right now he's 40, 45. But
I agree.
The fact that he's 24 and could be loads better, that's what you're paying for, and he's English.
Dark by Design says maybe Mitchell insulted them with the first offer and now they're making us pay. Amanda would have had the deal done weeks ago. I don't get. Look, Amanda's not here anymore. That's
your opinion.
It is. And look, he's not here anymore. She's not here. Sorry, Mitchell is. Mitchell, as Sam said a while back on the show, that Mitchell has an incredible CV, and that is what counts more than anything. By the way, welcome everybody to the Facebook group as well. We've had an absolute influx of members to the Facebook group in the last couple of days. So welcome to everybody. If you are on Facebook, look for the Toon Review. You have to agree to the group rules, so please agree to them, and then you will be accepted into the Facebook group. Some great Newcastle United banter on there. But now, ladies and gentlemen, before we open the lines up, it is time for the moment of the week where people just love the intro to it. We haven't seen it for so long. Ladies and gentlemen.
You ain't wrong there.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now that time of the week. Billy's Beef.
It's been such a long time since I've seen.
Yeah.
They get old.
You know what? I watch Alex as that plays out. He watches the first 3 quarters of it, and then he just can't wait. He can't watch
we can all
anymore.
see guys. We can all see each other backstage, so they can all just watch my head go in my hands every single time.
Ah, brilliant. Anyway, it is time, as I say, for Billy's beef. And don't forget, we've got Billy's bedtime story at the end of the show as well. So, Billy, who's your beef with this week?
Well, it starts off with a bit of sympathy for said people who I'm going to beef at. And we all saw yesterday what a shame it was to see Oscar Bob break his leg in training, a young talent who's a very good player, who I think everyone looks forward to see how he progresses as a footballer. He looks a real star. He broke his leg yesterday in training. But my beef is with the reaction of their fans, the Man City fans, with the arrogance to say, well, in that case, then we're just going to put a bid in for Anthony Gordon, Bruno, and take them away from you. And I'm thinking, who wants to go to Man City when there's a cloud hanging over them? No security that the manager's going to be staying beyond the end of this season. I mean, it's arrogancy of the nth degree, and they often criticise their small-time neighbours about being arrogant and entitled. And yet, when push comes to shove, they're doing exactly the same thing. I just don't get it. I mean, they've not been like this before. But yes, kind of looking down the nose at us, I will just take you lot. We'll take your 2 best players. And that's how we'll get around the Oscar Bob thing, who, by the way, isn't a centre midfielder and plays left wing occasionally. So not really replaced by like for like in any shape, way or form. Absolute madness. And they need to kind of think about where they're going to be in 6 months' time. They could be in deep doo-doo.
Well, there could be. I mean, obviously the hearing is coming up. And listen, as far as I'm concerned, I think Manchester City behind the scenes, they are quite worried about this. And I genuinely believe it's Pep's last season at the club. I've said that many times.
He's going to come and manage England, and then we're going to win the World Cup, and everybody's going to live happily ever after.
That's what we hope.
It's on the cards.
By the way, the lines are open to come and join us live on the show for the final part of the show. The link is pinned at the top of the the live chat. Sorry, just click on it. It'll take you through to what we call the green room. I can see you backstage, and we will bring you on, and you can tell us how you're feeling ahead of the new season, of course. So click the link. You don't need a camera. Remember, if you don't want to be on camera, just use your microphone. That is fine as well. It'll be just like a phone in. So make sure you get yourselves on and we hear a little bit about you. First on tonight, as usual, he's like got a pistol ready to get on. It's Peter.
All right. Hello. All right.
How are you doing, matey? Long time no see.
Yeah, very well. Very well. Can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, I've seen in the chat you're quite looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
So what do you think of all this gay business, Peter? Are you one to say walk away?
Just walk away. They're playing silly buggers with. Well, I don't think they want to sell it by the looks of it. They keep changing this, that, and the other. I personally think they don't want to lose them.
Do you think it's don't want to lose them or don't want to sell them? And they're just making it. I mean, there's a lot of people suggesting that they're actually making Newcastle out to be absolute idiots here with the way it's gone on.
Well, this is the 4th bid we've gone in for, and then apparently we've matched their price, and they're still not happy.
Yeah, well, everybody's got their opinion on. But how are you feeling ahead of the new season? Are you confident things are going to happen? Are you confident we're going to play well?
Yes, I've said 4th come the end of the season. I believe we can get back to the Champions League. I really believe it's going to be a really, really good season.
Any players that you think are going to be really stand out for us this year?
Of course, you got Isak, Bruno, Gordon as well. I'm looking forward to see more of Osula. I think hopefully Eddie's done some more work with him as well. I think Kelly could be a really good one as well. Of course, this set up for Harvey Barnes could play some good long balls as well. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's going to be
Barnes as well could be one.
Absolutely. Peter, we're rattling through them tonight, matey. So give us your score prediction.
3-0 Newcastle.
3-0. And have you got you've got a show tonight, haven't you?
I certainly do.
It's PD's PD football show. Get across to PD's channel right after this one. And if you want to throw up, just wait for the wait for the food photos because
yes, I'll be there as always.
Peter, I'll catch you before the game tomorrow, matey.
No problem. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, see you then, mate. Good night.
Just later, guys.
See you, Pete.
So that was Peter. Next up, we've got James.
How we doing, guys and Lady Sam?
We're doing all right, James. What would you like to say tonight?
Well, I'm torn. That's what I am. Torn with this year.
So was Natalie Imbruglia.
She was lying naked on the floor as well.
I think we need to walk away from this deal.
Give me 5 minutes.
Guehi. At the end of the day, I think if we made it at the start of the transfer window, we would have had the player.
Because we did put interest in him straight away, didn't we?
Yeah.
There was rumblings.
There was a tournament on, to be fair to everyone.
Well, I know, but my frustration is the organisation. In January, the likes of, we knew who we needed. We know where the money. I believe the club knew where the money what was needed to come back, and I feel that actually when you leave all the excuses out, put them all out the way, when you look at the squad, since we've let Anderson and Mendy go, I think we're weaker.
Well, I mean, you could say we are weaker because we've lost two very good players. By the way, Paul Murray's just commented saying, "Is that Billy's brother?" I can see why he asked that.
Can I just respond to that quick? I get what you mean, but at the same time, you can't just say to put all the excuses to one side when some of them might have been legitimate reasons. So if we tried to get rid of Miggy, but Miggy doesn't want to go to the club's bidding for him, there's not a lot they can do about that. I agree with you to a point, but some of those excuses might not.
The point what I'm getting at, Alex, is that we've let, right, in coming up to January, and the powers that be know how much money, even before January, way back, they knew how much money really we could spend and where it was, and they were surprised that our income increased.
You can still hear you, yeah, don't worry.
They were surprised at our increase in revenue, weren't they? The CEO come on, didn't they? And they said, much more than what we're expecting. So why the hell are we now, searching to sell two of our best youngest talents?
Is that what Darren Hill said? Did he come out and say that we got more than he thought we were going to get?
More than expected.
In what? In
the last 3 years, the growth of the club's income has been
just the general growth.
Okay. The forecast, of revenue coming in higher. That they stated that on the thing, and if you want, Alex, I'll try and find the video and give you.
Yeah, but that's because we finished fourth ahead of schedule. Therefore,
yes, but all of that now coming in, and we've still let Anderson and Mendy go. Now, anyway, we can't do anything about that now. But my frustration is, we can't really call the club at the end of the day with the Guehi deal, because at the end of the day, we've now put 65 million quid down and said, there you go, have what you want. It's not the club's fault or anyone else's fault that Crystal Palace don't want to take that money.
Good point. It is. It's a very good point, James. So what is your prediction for tomorrow, buddy?
I think we'll win 4-1.
Nice. Right. Thank you very much, James. We'll see you next time, buddy.
Cheers, Jack. Good to see you back, mate.
Good night.
Paul, before we bring on the next one, I have a point for you about Miggy from Eddie Howe's press conference. And
I watched Eddie Howe's press conference.
Well, yeah. Well, then this should make a lot of sense. He referenced Almiron because he was asked, obviously, about Miggy's potentially leaving, and he says I can't remember if he said if or we're going to try to. I think it was something along the lines of we're going to try and rediscover his form from 2 seasons ago.
Exact words he used, yeah.
Which I feel like was a little bit of a Freudian slip and a bit of an acceptance that he wasn't very good last year, or at least not as good as they wanted him to be. Kind of by accident. I mean, maybe I'm reading into that. That's a bit. I'm stretching that quite a lot, so maybe that's nonsense. But he didn't need to say it, and he said it. So.
No, I was pleased he said it, to be honest.
We all know it, though, ultimately. And did anybody else pick up on an interesting thing that he said in the press conference? For those that didn't see it, I'm paraphrasing here, but it was something like, players coming back and trying to score goals and getting them back where they needed to be. So players a little way from their optimum level.
Well, I think that was when he was talking about Willett, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an interesting one for me. So
he's very cryptic, isn't he? Sometimes is already. but he always is in press
But
conferences.
he needs to be, because if Willock
Yeah, yeah.
plays and doesn't score for 3 games and everybody starts whinging, it's like, well, he's said now that Willock is not fully match fit yet. He's
Yes.
kind of laid his cards on the table and saying, look, give Willock a break. He needs to get there again. He's nearly there, but so I think that was fair. It was kind of needed.
James Morrison, member for 19 months. Thank you very much for your support, James. Rejecting this deal is a blessing in disguise, to be honest. Personally, I'd rather chuck 40 to 50 million at Diamande or Silva and bring in a 30 million pound winger. Revenger, thank you for your super chat. Palace wasted our off-season. DOF, Elise Guehi. Peter Garthwaite, thank you for yours as well. Has anyone else heard that the 4th bid has been rejected? Yes, we have. And the Palace are hoping bigger clubs coming in January to pay more money. Yeah, well, good luck, Palace. Next up, we have John. Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, John.
Hello.
Hello, mate.
Yeah.
What would you like to say?
Sorry.
Nothing,
Oh,
apparently.
He's just sorting his tech out, I think.
Yeah, his tech's gone weird. We've got Sam, and then we've got Glenn to come on. Sam, good evening.
Oh, Chippers.
Hello, you right? It's been a while.
Yes, that's you. How are you doing?
Yeah, good news.
Not bad. What would you like to bring up tonight?
I'm just a bit frustrated by all the negativity at the minute. I mean, I know things haven't fallen our way in this window, but we could be in a worse position than what we're in.
Yeah,
like I've seen people in the chat having a go at Mitchell, and I just think the bloke's been here 2 minutes, and you've got to give him more longer than what you have done to get himself sorted at the club. I mean, let's have a real that the last 3 or 4 months beforehand that our director of football didn't want to be here and was working for Man U behind our backs, turns out. So didn't really want Joe Litton here by the looks of it, and I just think people need to lay off a bit and just, what happens. It's, yeah, we all wanted players in by now, but it's not how it works. People don't just go, there's the money, I'll accept it anymore. It's people have got backbones about them, and this is the same thing with the Guehi deal. I mean, just, but we have matched their valuation of the player, and they've moved the goalpost, which they're entitled to do. I mean, we're doing the same sort of trying to sell Miggy. People might think he's worth this much and that much, but we've obviously got a price for him. So that's until they get that price, he's still here. So I just think people need to, chill their beans a bit more. And there's still 2 weeks left of the window, and this is when you'd like to think the business will happen, because there's a lot of clubs like Liverpool, for example, who have signed nobody yet. So they've got to do their business now or never, really. I'm not worried. It's just
do you think Chippers will bring in players? Do you think we will bring in a right winger though?
I think we will.
Yeah,
I think we will. It's just obviously we're not partial to what's going on behind the scenes. They could be looking at one as we speak.
I'm so concerned that Chippers is now the voice of reason. I'm sorry.
I know.
If you've watched us too much now, you've become competent.
I've mellowed out a bit. As gets older, you mellow out a bit, don't you?
We've switched into an alternate Marvel reality.
I know. This is who are you? Is the real Chippers in the wardrobe behind you?
I feel like I need to wake up. Something very strange.
I agree with everything you said so far.
I've not had this session with antacid yet, so it's not that either. I'm just trying to. People need to just chill their beans a bit and calm down, because we've been in worse positions before as a football club, and look at our team now. We can pretty much field 2 teams at the minute. If you look at last week, we fielded 2 strong sides that could compete with most teams. So,
Chippers, I'm baffled by all this. Like,
it all makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, I'm going to ask you a question, Chippers, and I think this is the real reason why you have suddenly turned into a sensible man. You finally had sex in the summer.
No.
Oh. Okay.
No,
just a suggestion.
I look at the 2 teams we fielded last weekend, and you still think international players, even in the second squad. So don't, I mean, if you look, it's going to probably be the same team other than Bruno and Shaw that played probably on the Friday. That's going to play on tomorrow, I would say so. And the second team will probably be the team that played on the Saturday, bar Bruno and Shaw. But again, if you look, I know we all know what Miggy's like, but he's an international at the end of the day. So he's going to be a squad player. You know, Callum Wilson, I know he's injured at the minute, but he's a squad player. International, well, obviously when Gareth Southgate's not here, which is now. So
I'm
think
sorry.
Am
Do we
I
need
in
to
the
call an
Matrix here?
ambulance? Are you blink twice if this is actually you?
It is
I'm
me.
shocked.
Don't worry, I'll take my mask off too.
Anybody who knows Chippers in person, please call his family and make sure he's alive. Somebody, please.
Somebody's
I'm
kidnapped
stunned.
Chippers.
What is going on?
Incredible.
But this is why, do you know how I said last night how we need to start games quickly? And obviously, I didn't put, like, obviously you thought the start of the season quickly. I meant there was games last season where we weren't on it from the first whistle. Not the Villa game, for prime example. There was games
That
where
is also true.
we started slowly. That's where we need to be on it every game this season, because I think everyone's going to want beer for our blood, as we've seen. All the people having to go, we're saying we're going to finish this place and that place to start us earlier, and people have got Southampton predicting to beat with us like tomorrow. No offense to Southampton, but we should be. I know we struggled in these games quite a bit last season, but these are games we should be pezzling teams. No offense to them. We should be.
This is different. This isn't a work hard, dogged,
Luton,
low block,
yeah,
plucky team that's just come up. This is a team that's just come up who want to play loads of sexy football. They're not going to be able to do that against us. They can try.
Our worry's got the same mentality Russell Martin's company had last season, where it's a case of I don't give a crap how well we'll play. We'll get puzzled every week, but that's how I want to play. And you can't do that when you've just come up and you haven't got the ammunition to use really to play that way. So
very true.
I'm very confident for tomorrow.
I can tell. I'm staggered. Anyway, give us a prediction for tomorrow, Chippers 2.0.
I think I'll be all doom and gloom next Friday, so don't worry. Please tape this. I think we'll win 4-1.
Hey, that'll do us. Thanks for coming on, Chippers, and we'll maybe see you next time if it's actually you. We'll find out.
It's Dippers. It's not Chippers. It's his brother.
Bring a copy of next Friday's newspaper with you and hold up to the camera so you can see.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Chippers. Good night, buddy.
See you, Chippers.
I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I kind of think I'm living in the Matrix right now.
What was that?
Hey, but every point bang on. I mean, you can't argue with anything he said.
What's that old movie where that? Oh god, this is a proper unnecessary tangent now. But is it Shirley Valentine? Is that really old Scouse movie where the woman leaves her fella and goes and gets herself educated
in Greece? Yeah.
Is that what he's done? Is he just like?
Or educating Rita?
Is he gone? I don't know. There was an old movie where somebody went and left an abusive husband and went and got herself educated and got a nice life. Is Chippers like pushed everyone away and gone and started like learning everything?
I just think he's had sex. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. We've got Glenn. Glenn, good evening.
Evening. How are you, team?
Hi, Glenn.
We're very
Good,
well. I believe you're making your debut tonight on the channel.
Yeah, I know. Heady stuff.
I know.
I don't think I've got a face first, mate.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Look at Billy.
Oh, it's brutal. Brutal.
Oh, like they've never given me shit before, have they? What would you like to say, Glenn?
One, I've got to congratulate you on just constantly churning out excellent content. And all he is, I think, is a cracking team. The addition of Lady Sam has been an absolute boost as well. Yeah, she does all right, doesn't she? You know.
Start off, Paul. Carry on, though. Carry on.
Yeah. I'm on the west. I'm on the eastern seaboard of Canada, so like
very nice. You don't sound Canadian though.
No, I tried to put a Geordie accent on for the cameras.
All right, okay.
You're not from Bristol, are
you? No. Billy.
Anyway.
So So where were we? I forgot what I was going to say.
Football, Newcastle. Anything to say about the team?
Of course, yeah. So I get my doses of soccer through you guys. I'm living vicariously.
Glenn, never say that word on this channel.
Whoa. What's that?
Then you're playing golf for Spurs.
You just said soccer. How dare you say soccer, Glenn?
We need a bell or Susan. Can we have like a warning alarm, like when someone says soccer by accident? We need a buzzer.
That's I'll be honest. That's this environment getting to us. It breaks you down after a while. I've been out here 6 years, so it breaks you down after a bit. So I get my football through you guys. So long may this continue. I will say that this Guehi thing has absolutely astonished me. I don't understand it, but that's modern business, I suppose. It is what it is. So,
do you still think? Do you think we'll go again, or do you think that's it?
I think we'd be mad to go again. The kid's not even probably worth 65 in the real world. He's a great player. I think he's got a lot to offer, but what we need is somebody to come in under Fabian Schär and then spend a bit of time with Fabian Schär. Presuming he doesn't get injured this season, which is always a risk, isn't it? Let's be honest. So
it is. I mean, how are you feeling in general about the season ahead, though? Is it something you're looking forward to now? Hopefully we'll avoid injuries next season and actually be able to play the Newcastle way or the Eddie Howe way.
Well, I mean, we're looking probably as good this season as we ever have done since probably the Pardew season with Ben Arthur and the others that when we finished fifth. When was that? 2013, 2014? I can't remember now. It's 10 years ago.
Potentially.
But I think as well now we're playing a type of football which is just it's choking the big teams, and I think that's allowing for the fact we've got everyone on the pitch at the same time, of course. Yeah, but excited. I think best way to describe it.
Who do you think is going to be a standout player for us this season?
I hope we have a standout team, not a standout player.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I think they've all got to be absolutely clicking. There's no room in there for anybody, and no disrespect to Miggy. There's no room in there for a Miggy 23-24 performance. They've got to be on it.
That's normally how Paul starts at most of his sentences. No disrespect to Miggy, but
he's been rubbing off on me for the last 6 years, Paul.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, Billy, man.
You've got to be careful what you say on a. Well, I was going to say be careful what you say on a Friday night. It's any Sunday night with Billy, to be honest. One question, Glenn, before you go, do you actually live amongst normal Canadians or those French people that pretend to be Canadians?
No, I'm in Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island. So it's conventional, mainly from Scotland. Quite a few from Ireland.
Oh, the conventional Canadians, absolutely, yeah. I just don't understand the French Canadians, all that stuff. If you want to be French, go into France. Yeah. Why live in Canada? It's pointless. I never understand it.
You must be near O'Connell in England, are you?
It's Oak Island's down by Halifax, Billy, so it's about 400 kilometers south of us.
That's really close. Yeah, I mean, you could swim that, Billy, couldn't you?
I'm the same. I'm the same distance to Oak Island, Halifax area as I am from London. If I lived in Consett was where I was from. So,
I really want to get back out there. I love Canada. I've been to Canada a couple of times in the ice hockey days. I love it. Yeah, haven't been for a long time. So I'm due whip Susan on a plane, not literally, and get over to Canada. Steady on.
We'll have to wait for Ryan to go home.
You're the last
rampaging through Thailand first.
Well, you've all got no invitation to come and visit me. So there you go.
Nice one. Right. Well, thank you. What's your prediction for tomorrow, Glenn?
3-0. 3-0 win, the Toon. I don't want to concede. No concessions, please.
I would very, very much like that to happen. Right. Cheers, Glenn. We'll see you next time, matey. Get yourself back on.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
So that was Glenn in Canada. We stretch across the world. I really don't know why I said whip Susan on a plane. I mean, who whips somebody on a plane? I mean, Billy's probably done it a fair few times in his past.
Anyway, football topic before you digress. I don't think we've talked about the Forest draw yet, have we, since we've been live?
Do we have to? Do we really have to?
I mean, we can do like 20 seconds on it if you want. I mean, we drew Forest stupid. We're like the unluckiest team in cup draws in the world, in the universe.
And we may end up having two games in 2 days. Because we play on the Sunday and we're scheduled to play on the Tuesday.
No, they'll move it to the Wednesday. If they don't move it to the Wednesday, then it smells of goings on.
Well, according to Sky Sports this morning, if they choose the Newcastle Forest game, they'll be on a Wednesday. However, West Ham do play Bournemouth and they're playing us on the Sunday. So if they choose West Ham and Bournemouth, then we'll be on the Tuesday.
We'll see.
Yeah. Right. Well, to finish off the show with a good laugh, it is time for this. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, the intro to this does star Lady Sam.
It's that time in the TTR show to sit back and relax and let the laughter flow. Billy's here to regale us with another tale.
It took a long time for Sam to film that. Susan is a genius. It's as simple as that. She is a genius.
Can I just say, in part of that, it didn't sync up, and she had a lazy eye.
Sounds like my average Saturday night, yeah.
Well, exactly. You know, she was drunk when she filmed it, Alex. Come on. I mean, let's be fair to Sam here. She's very rarely sober, to be honest. Devin Harris, who's been a member for 31 months. Thank you very much, Devin. He just commented saying, "Oh my." Right, Billy. What is your bedtime story tonight? Regale us with your experiences of the past.
Settle down, people. It's time for the bedtime story, and this goes back to the late 90s. I was seeing a lady. They used to have these nights in a local nightclub where the emergency services people used to get in for free and get half-price drinks and that. And it was like it was red rag to a bull for us testosterone-filled men. There was NHS people there, police women, fire women, etc., etc. And one Wednesday night, I decided to venture down. Managed to pull myself a very nice young lady from that works at the local hospital, really attractive. We've seen her for a while. Things progressed as they do in relationships. Really, really close to her, you know. And after about 2 months, I said, well, I won't say her name. You know, you work in the hospital, you know, you must have seen a lot of penises. How do I kind of mark up with that? She goes, oh, I've seen loads. She said, you're average or slightly above average. And I was kind of quite pleased with that. She goes, I don't know what you're kind of smiling for and dancing around the room like Michael Jackson. I'm a midwife.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God.
It's fine. It wasn't that bad.
Hey, listen, I mean, look, to start the season off, to start the TTR season off, I think, you know, that was...
we won't get cancelled for that one. It was funny and it's doable. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but, you know, I
only how many more weeks of the season have we got left? We've got like 37 more those to go.
It'll just go.
Step one's done.
Yeah, absolutely. Jesus Christ. But there you are, guys. That is TTR Friday for you. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget, 2:30 tomorrow. We have this. Of course, Billy will be presenting Matchday Live tomorrow. Me and Alex are at the game. Sam, I don't know whether you want to pop on before the game or time. Just to let you give your thoughts on it. You don't need the links anymore, so you can just jump on. But 2:30 Matchday Live starts with Billy Bob, of course, with the team news and getting your thoughts on the game ahead, and then of course play-by-play commentary from 3 o'clock. You will not miss a kick right here on the Toon Review if you're not at the game. Me and Alex will be there, so if you see me and Alex, please do come and say hello, because it would be nice to put some faces to names. And
a lot of people missed me last weekend, apparently. Just come say hi, and I'll be up hopefully about...
That's all right. They'll be able to see you this time. You'll be standing next to me, Alex, so they'll be able to, you know, they'll see me standing, and they'll not miss you being so small.
Look for the big egg, and then look down.
Yeah, look down, look down about 5 foot, and you'll see little Alex with his fishing rod standing on my shoe. But there, if you do see me, I'll just come and say hello, because like I say, it's nice to put faces to names. And of course, I haven't been for a while, so with what happened last year, but that's under the bridge now. I'm back and looking forward to it. So thank you very, very much for watching. Thank you, everybody, for your super chats and memberships. Mods, thank you. And of course, Billy, Alex, and Sam, thank you very much. And of course, those of you that joined the fan forum. TTR Friday will once again be back next week. But of course, Billy, we'll see you tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Sunday night, of course, with the match review. There will be a sort of match day vlog going up from myself at some point tomorrow night when I get home after the game. So keep your eyes open for that. That'll just be a normal upload recording. But thank you very much, everybody. Have a cracking rest of your Friday night, and hopefully we'll be celebrating 3 points to start the new season. But in the meantime, good night.
How are the lads and lasses?
Come back and check out some green.